God says, listen closely, beloved soul, because this moment is not as ordinary as it appears. Before your eyes landed on this message, before your finger paused on the screen, before you even realized why you felt drawn to these words, heaven already knew you would be here. The angels are saying there is a reason your attention stopped right now. Not because of chance. Not because of luck. But because your spirit was meant to hear something your heart has needed for a very long time. While the world continues rushing around you, heaven is inviting you into a moment of stillness. Archangel Michael stands in the unseen realm, watching over the path ahead of you, and he wants you to understand that your story is far from over. Too many times you have looked at your life and focused on what has not happened yet, on the prayers that seem delayed, on the opportunities that never arrived when you expected them to. Yet heaven sees a much larger picture than the one standing in front of you today. The angels are saying that what feels like delay from your perspective often looks like preparation from heaven's perspective. There are things being arranged behind the scenes that your natural eyes cannot fully recognize yet. There are doors quietly moving, answers slowly approaching, and moments already making their way toward your future that will eventually make sense of everything you have been through. Beloved soul, the reason this message feels different is because it is speaking directly to the part of you that has been carrying silent questions. You have wondered whether your prayers still matter. You have wondered whether God truly sees what you carry inside. You have wondered whether the seasons of waiting, disappointment, and emotional exhaustion have any purpose at all. Heaven says yes. Every chapter mattered. Every tear mattered. Every moment you chose to keep moving forward when life felt heavy mattered. There were nights when nobody knew how tired your spirit really felt. There were mornings when simply getting through the day required more strength than anyone realized. Yet even in those moments, heaven never looked away. The angels remained near. They watched you continue despite discouragement. They watched you choose kindness even when life had not always been kind to you. They watched you carry hope even when uncertainty tried to convince you to let it go. And now the angels are saying that your perseverance was not invisible. The strength you showed during difficult seasons has become part of the foundation for the blessing still ahead. Archangel Michael says there is something important you need to release before stepping fully into the next season of your life. You must release the belief that you have been forgotten. That thought has followed you through too many chapters. It followed you through disappointments. It followed you through closed doors. It followed you through moments when life did not unfold the way you expected. But heaven says you were never abandoned. Even in the seasons where everything felt silent, God was still working. Sometimes the greatest activity happens in places we cannot immediately see. A seed beneath the soil appears invisible long before it becomes a flower. A sunrise begins before the light reaches the horizon. In the same way, many of the things God is preparing for your future have already begun moving, even if the evidence has not fully appeared in front of you yet. This is why the angels wanted your spirit to hear this message today. Not to create fear. Not to pressure you. But to remind you that hope is still justified, faith is still valuable, and your future still contains beautiful things waiting to unfold. The angels are saying there are moments approaching your life that will remind you why you never gave up completely. There are conversations waiting ahead that will bring clarity where burdens nobody else could fully understand. You kept showing up, kept moving forward, kept trying to believe that better days were still ahead, even when circumstances seemed determined to convince you otherwise. Yet through every difficult season, heaven was watching. The angels saw the courage it took for you to continue after disappointment. They saw the strength it took for you to keep your heart open after being hurt. They saw the faith it took for you to continue praying even when answers did not arrive as quickly as you hoped. And now they want you to understand something important. Your story is not defined by the chapters that wounded you. Those chapters shaped you, taught you, strengthened you, and prepared you, but they do not determine where your journey ends. God is still writing new pages, and some of the most meaningful moments of your life have not happened yet. Archangel Michael says there is a difference between a closed door and a finished destiny. Too often people assume that because one opportunity disappeared, all possibilities disappeared with it. But heaven does not work that way. Sometimes one door closes because another path needs room to appear. Sometimes a delay protects you from rushing into something that was not truly aligned with your future. And sometimes what feels like a setback is actually a redirection towards something better than you originally imagined. Looking back, there may be things you desperately wanted that never happened. At the time, that disappointment felt painful. You questioned why certain relationships ended, why certain plans failed, why certain opportunities slipped away. Yet now, little by little, you are beginning to understand that not everything lost was meant to remain. Some things left because they could not travel with you into the next chapter. Some endings created space for new beginnings. And even now, heaven is continuing to guide your path in ways that are not always immediately visible. The angels are saying trust the process more than the timing, because God often sees possibilities that human eyes cannot yet recognize. Beloved soul, there is also something beautiful happening inside you that you may not fully appreciate. Through every challenge you endured, you developed a deeper understanding of life, people, and yourself. You became more compassionate toward those who are struggling. You became more aware of what truly matters. You learned that strength is not always loud and that courage is often found in simply continuing when everything feels difficult. These lessons were not wasted. The wisdom you gained through hardship will become one of the greatest gifts you carry into your future. There are people you will encourage because you understand what it feels like to overcome disappointment. There are conversations you will have that bring healing because you know what it means to carry pain quietly. And there are opportunities waiting ahead where your experiences will become strengths instead of scars. Heaven wastes nothing. Even the seasons you wish had never happened can become part of a greater purpose when placed in God's hands. The angels are saying stop measuring your future by your past disappointments. The fact that something did not work before does not mean nothing will work now. The fact that someone failed to appreciate you does not mean everyone will overlook your value. The fact that a dream was delayed does not mean it was destroyed. Life changes. Seasons change. People grow. Circumstances shift. And heaven is constantly creating possibilities beyond what you can currently see. Right now there are opportunities moving toward you that you have not yet imagined. There are moments of joy waiting ahead that will feel even sweeter because of everything you endured to reach them. There are answers approaching that will help certain confusing chapters finally make sense. And while the full picture is still unfolding, the angels want you to keep your heart open to hope. Not because life will suddenly become perfect, but because God is still actively involved in your journey. Your future is not empty. Your future is not forgotten. Your future still contains purpose, growth, meaningful connections, and blessings that will arrive at the right time. Archangel Michael says one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself right now is permission to believe again. Believe that healing is possible. Believe that peace can return. Believe that good things can happen even after difficult seasons. Believe that your life is still moving towards something meaningful. Too many people spend years expecting disappointment because disappointment once became familiar. But heaven is inviting you into a different mindset. Instead of expecting everything to go wrong, begin expecting God to continue guiding you forward. Instead of focusing only on what is missing, notice what is already growing within you. Notice your resilience. Notice your wisdom. Notice how much stronger you have become than you were before. These are signs that heaven has been working in your life all along. And beloved soul, the angels want you to remember that every step forward matters. Every act of faith matters. Every moment you choose hope over discouragement matters. Because the story God is writing for your life is still unfolding, and some of the most beautiful chapters are still waiting ahead. The angels are saying, beloved soul, there comes a moment in every person's journey when they must stop looking only at what is missing and begin recognizing what heaven has already placed within them. For a long time, you have been carrying questions about your future. You have wondered if the effort you invested, the prayers you offered, and the faith you tried to hold on to would ever lead to something meaningful. There were days when hope felt easy and there were days when hope felt like the hardest thing in the world. Yet through every season, whether bright or difficult, God continued shaping your character in ways you could not fully see at the time. The challenges you faced were never meant to convince you that you were forgotten. Instead, they revealed strengths you did not know you possessed. They taught you patience when you wanted immediate answers. They taught you resilience when life felt uncertain. They taught you compassion through your own experiences of struggle. And now the angels want you to understand that these qualities are not small things. They are treasures being carried into the next chapter of your life, and they will help you walk confidently into opportunities and blessings that require a stronger, wiser version of yourself. Archangel Michael says one of the greatest mistakes people make is believing that their future must look exactly like their past. They assume that because certain disappointments happened before, the same disappointments will continue forever. But heaven does not work according to fear. Heaven works according to purpose. The fact that previous chapters were difficult does not mean the chapters ahead will follow the same pattern. God is constantly creating new possibilities, new connections, new opportunities, and new ways for your life to unfold. Right now, there are things being prepared that you cannot yet fully see. There are people you have not met yet who will appreciate qualities others overlooked. There are conversations you have not had yet that will bring clarity where confusion once existed. There are experiences waiting for you that will restore confidence in areas where doubt once lived. And there are moments of joy ahead that will remind you that difficult seasons do not last forever. The angels are saying, do not allow old disappointments to become the lens through which you view your future. Keep your heart open to the possibility that God can still surprise you in beautiful ways. Beloved soul, heaven also wants you to recognize how far you have already come. It is easy to focus on what still needs to happen and forget how much growth has already taken place. Think about the person you were before certain challenges entered your life. Think about the lessons you have learned, the wisdom you have gained, and the strength you have developed. You have survived things that once seemed impossible to overcome. You have continued moving forward through moments that tested your patience, your faith, and your emotional endurance. That growth matters. The confidence you are building matters. The healing taking place inside your heart matters. Even if progress feels slow at times, it is still progress. Heaven celebrates every step forward, even the small ones. And sometimes the most important transformations happen quietly, long before they become visible to others. The angels are saying that while you were focused on reaching a destination, God was also focused on developing the person who would arrive there. And that development has been taking place every single day, even when you did not notice it. The angels are saying there is no need to rush what heaven is carefully unfolding. Some blessings arrive quickly, while others require time because they are connected to deeper growth and greater purpose. Trusting God's timing does not mean sitting still without hope. It means continuing to move forward while believing that the right opportunities will appear at the right moment. It means understanding that not every delay is a denial and not every closed door is a permanent ending. Sometimes life unfolds in ways that only make sense when viewed from a distance. One day you may look back and realize that the things you worried about most were preparing you for something better than you expected. You may discover that the paths you thought were blocked were simply redirecting you toward a more meaningful destination. And you may find that the answers you searched for arrived exactly when your heart was ready to receive them. The angels want you to carry that perspective with you as you move forward, because it allows you to live with greater peace, greater trust, and greater confidence in the journey ahead. Archangel Michael says, keep believing in the value of your story. Your life has meaning. Your experiences have purpose. Your presence matters more than you realize. There are people whose lives will be brighter because you chose not to give up. There are opportunities that will exist because you continued moving forward through uncertainty. There are moments of happiness ahead that will feel even more meaningful because of everything you overcame to reach them. And while you may not see every detail of the road ahead today, heaven sees it clearly. God knows where you have been, where you are now, and where you are being guided next. The angels are saying, continue walking forward with faith, continue nurturing hope, and continue trusting that your life is unfolding according to a purpose greater than what you can currently see. Because sometimes the greatest blessing is not simply arriving at the destination, it is becoming the person you were meant to be along the way. And beloved soul, heaven wants you to know that your journey is still unfolding, your story is still being written, and some of the most meaningful chapters are still ahead of you. If this message spoke to your heart today, don't leave without taking a step of faith. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs this encouragement right now. And in the comments, type, "I trust God's timing for my life." Every comment is a reminder that you are choosing hope over doubt and faith over fear. Stay with us until the very end, because the next message may contain the exact encouragement your soul has been waiting to hear. Your journey is not over, your story is still unfolding, and heaven may be preparing something beautiful for your next chapter.